What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Smooth Blaze. And I would like to welcome you to week 3 of part 1 of A Moment of Clarity. Now, on last week, we talked about a few things, but before I get there, please like, comment, subscribe to my page, and show your boy some love, man, if you haven't already. But at the end of the day, I want to go back and hit on what we talked about last week. Now, on last week, we talked about dreams versus your vision. Now, when we think about dreams and visions, they have to be aligned, because a dream don't mean nothing if you don't have a vision that goes along with it. And the vision is the work that goes along that you need to do in order to get your dream to be a reality. Now, as we hit on these areas, it kind of collides with week 3. Week 3 theme is, it's not about the money, it's the principle, the principalities of it, in the words of Big Worm. Now, as I reflect on these things, my thing is that Big Worm gave Smoke an opportunity to make some money. We've all been given opportunities to reach certain goals. Smokey, we don't know his main goal at the end of the day, but the reason why Big Worm was so mad, because I gave you an opportunity to do what you're supposed to do, but you decided to do your stuff on your own stuff and then take care of your business. Meaning that, how can I trust you with anything? So it's gonna be me and you got a problem. So you have to ask ourselves, how many of us are smoking? How many of us are Big Worm? About their business and want stuff to be done at a certain time frame. How was it smoking? Basically, get an opportunity, chill out, do your thing, and things don't turn out the way you want to. Ask yourself that. Now, as that intertwines with the whole topic I want you to get to, what I want you to understand is really, what are your short-term, what are your long-term goals? What are your short-term, what are your long-term goals? Now, before we can get to that point, we have to define each. Let's start off with short-term goals. All right. Short-term goals are something that you want to get done in the near future. Meaning that it could happen today, it could happen a week from now, a month from now, even a year. But these are things that you want done currently within the near future. And when you have these things, it makes you feel better about yourself as you're completing these short-term goals. It builds confidence within that frame. Now, let's transition back into long-term goals, and let's understand what that is. Long-term goals are some things that you can accomplish in the near future. No, I'm sorry, not in the near future, but in the long-term proceedings of the future. Meaning that this requires time and it requires planning. The short-term goals within which that you set for yourself to achieve are the building blocks that help to plan for your long-term goals. That's why both of these things go hand in hand. Normally, long-term goals kind of lay out from maybe 3 to 5 years to 10 years. It just depends on what you're trying to achieve. If you're living life without any short-term and long-term goals, and if you're not outlining these thoughts in your mind and putting it on paper or putting it in a way that you can visually see it, you will never get through anything. Now, it's time to run in head first with some examples. Now, for short-term goals, we'll talk about things that you can honestly get changed within maybe 3 to 6 months to a year. And one of those examples we'll deal with improving your image. That's the easiest thing that you can do, is improve your image. If you need an image consultant or anything like that, there's a lot of those available. Or if there's somebody that you admire, you respect, and you look at their style and their swagger, and you're like, you know what, I want to keep my own swag, but at the same time, implement some things that I've seen. All right. Getting a professional certification. One of the easiest things to do. I'll give you an example. I know a lot of people that graduated with accounting, but what let them get jobs faster and easier was the idea that they had a CPA. which helps you separate from all the other people that have those accounting degrees. So getting a professional certification is essential to accomplishing more goals, and it don't even take that long. All right. Attending networking events. Every year, every month, every week, there's going to be networking events for different organizations. It might be the Chamber of Commerce. It might be a job fair. It might be a voluntary event. There's a variety of things that you can go to that are happen a few times. You go there for a day or for a time period, a set time period, and that's it. This way you can network easily. Those are good things. Developing confidence. Now, confidence becomes within, and it is a short-term goal because once you begin to practice certain things that you're trying to improve, it's just like clockwork. Developing confidence is essential to anything. If you're trying to, build relationships, if you're trying to state your point, as long as you're confident in your point, you have facts and data to balance it, you're good. And another thing that we kind of overlook a lot is dealing with reading more inspirational books. Reading is essential to opening your mind to different ideas. Like John Maxwell, like Curtis Jackson, just different guys that have books that'll challenge you to the point where you want to make positive decisions in your life. And reading those books like The Art of War or 48 Laws of Power, the 50 Laws of Power, just things that make you be more competitive and more strategical helps you out in the long run. And these are short things these are small, different segments of things or goals that you can accomplish and move forward. All right, now let's transition into long-term goals. Here's some examples. One is what is a pain in a lot of people's backside, deal with paying off student loans. I myself have a struggle with that because when you look at the amount, you be like, ain't no way I can get this done. However, when your short-term goals are laid out properly and timing and planning is involved, your long-term goals won't happen right now, but happen in the near future, faster than what you think. All right, paying off credit cards. Everyone I know has credit cards or any type of things that they have to pay off. And that's something that you have to be more responsible for. Really look at the money that you have currently and whether or not you can pay off. I tell people all the time, and I say this to myself, never borrow more money than you can honestly save and at any time drop in and clear it out. If you only got $1,000 saved, don't get $2,000 worth of debt. That don't make any sense. All right. Paying off a mortgage for a house. That's a goal for everybody, to have their own house, wherever you plan on living long term. And a mortgage is essential because it gives you leverage. But we know that a mortgage ain't gonna be paid off within a month. Not a whole mortgage. It takes time. It takes years for that to happen. Paying off a car note. There's not a lot of people that have money just offhand just to buy a Jag or buy even a Bentley off the lot just for free. Not for free, but in full. So it takes time for you to get to the point where you can not only buy it and pay it off in full and have the note for it. Have the ownership note for it, but it takes time. So that's considered a long-term goal. Losing 150 pounds. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. And if something happens overnight, you need to go to the doctor and get that checked out. But at the same time, your goal long-term will be a 150. So every month, how much do you want to lose? That's how you accomplish it. But in actuality, that's a long-term goal because it's not going to happen overnight. All right, now, as we get to the conclusion of this video, these are two questions you need to ask yourself. What are your long-term and short-term goals? And how can I achieve them? What are your long-term and short-term goals, and how in the world can I achieve them? Always remember, whatever you're trying to accomplish, take time to lay out a plan that makes sense. Don't overwhelm yourself because you have 21 goals you want to think, long-term goals, and you looking like I can't get to it. No, don't think about it like that. Focus in on the short-term goals and always keep those long-term goals in mind. Because as you knock off them short-term goals, you start to realize that your long-term goal that you thought you had is going to convert into a short-term. So to close, I would like to say thank you for watching this video. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and also sharing. Just remind anybody that's close to you, if they need this information, if they want more information of it, just let them know. And I just want to say thank you again for, giving me the time out of your busy schedule, busy days, just to, take a time to view my page. If you have any updates or any questions, comments, concerns, my email address is provided below. But always remember that if you have a plan as well as a time frame with that, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you will always get to that. Just don't backslide. It's your boy Smooth Blaze, and I'm signing out. Peace.